Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am delighted to show you guys my brand new eyeshadow palette, which I recently got from Natasha Denona. It is the brand new bronze palette. This was recently released in the UK. I know it came out in the US earlier, but it always does. And I was really excited to share this with you guys. This is my second eyeshadow palette that I've ever bought from Natasha Denona. The previous one was the Love one, which you guys know that I really didn't like. And when this came out, I was kind of convinced, more so because of the colours and also because some of my friends had actually told me that one that I got wasn't that great, but other palettes of hers are excellent of quality. And I do have to say I was not disappointed with this whatsoever. So this retails at £60, which is pricey. Natasha Denona is considered a more luxury brand in terms of makeup, so £60 is a lot of money. And I'm sure a lot of you will be wondering, is it worth the £60? First off, I didn't pay £60 for mine, I paid £45. I bought mine from Feel Unique, and Feel Unique, I do have to say, has probably got one of the best loyalty systems in terms of beauty and skincare in the UK. As you purchase things, you rack up points, and then they are turned into vouchers at £5 per time. I had collected £15 worth, and then I was able to knock off £15, which, considering it's a £60 palette, £15 is a lot of money. So first off, this is the box that it comes in, just a flimsy cardboard box, which is in a bronze kind of metallic packaging, exactly the same as it is on the package itself. So they're not too fancy when it comes to packaging. This is what it looks like up close. As you can see, my fingerprints are all over it. It's very reflective. And it's in a plastic casing. And then when you open it up inside, you can see there are 15 eyeshadow pans, and there is a very large, decent sized mirror on the top. So first off, as I always do, I will read to you what their claims are off of their own website. Under Natasha Denona's website, under the description, it says these are 15 new shades packed with Natasha Denona's groundbreaking, buttery smooth, hydrating eyeshadow formula in entrancing brown and vibrant bronze shades. Provides maximum colour payoff with minimal effort, blending seamlessly to achieve vibrant, ultra-pigmented, long-lasting looks. These rich, pressed pigmented shadows leave the skin with an optimal texture and comfortable all-day wear. Shades and formulas were hand-designed by world-renowned makeup artist Natasha Denona, made with the highest quality pure colour pigments, dazzling chroma crystals and luminous mineral pearls. Its buttery smooth, hydrating eyeshadow formula wears beautifully on any skin type and any skin tone. So I do actually have to agree in this instance. This eyeshadow palette, in my personal opinion, is absolutely excellent. It is a 10 out of 10. The quality is amazing. It is so much better than that Valentine's palette, which I have barely used since. This is definitely going to be one of the ones which goes as part of my holy grail. This is your perfect everyday nudie, bronzy, golden, medium skin tone, deep skin tone eyeshadow palette. Even though this will go with all skin tones, I would definitely say it's more geared towards medium and deep skin tones. If you can tell from the colours in here, there aren't really any pale shades at all, which is slightly annoying because I do have to say there is no brow bone shade to use. There is no tear duct shade to use, not for my skin tone anyway. If you've got very deep skin tones, you will be able to use some of these shimmery shades as brow bone highlights or inner tear duct shades, but on my skin tone, they're much too dark. If you've got very fair skin, you will note that even the matte shades, which are all quite similarly coloured, will have to be used with a very light hand, otherwise it will just be too deep to your skin. I'm not going to complain too much because for God knows how many years, medium brown girls and deeper skin tone ladies and men have always been overlooked by so many brands. So it's about time that we had eyeshadow palettes that were specifically catered towards our skin tone. Now that's not to say that I want anyone to be missed out, but in all honesty, fair skin tone people, you guys have had it great for way too long. So it's about time that we had a little bit of representation ourselves, and that's where this palette comes in. I think it's absolutely excellent. The quality of the matte shades, which there are 5 of, is buttery soft, easy to blend, smooth. The colour makeup as well of those 5 shades are very similar-ish. If you note that the shade here called Beach, Ridge and Sundown are all very similar kind of caramelly tones, but slightly deeper as they go along, and then you go into more deeper, slightly warmer tones. There is no actual really dark matte shade in here, I do have to say. The deepest shade is this one here, which is called Deep Dive, but that is not a matte shade. That's one of those more pearlescent kind of shades. Buttery smooth, completely hydrating eyeshadow formula. I'm not sure quite what that means, but I do have to say that, I mean, because it's a powder at the end of the day, how can you have a hydrating powder? But then again, these eyeshadows don't really dry out my eyes. They don't make them look crepey. They make them look nice. My eyeshadow looks great, I have to say. Again, it says maximum color payoff, completely with minimal effort, blending seamlessly. Yep, completely 100% agree with them. Achieve vibrant, ultra pigmented, long lasting looks. I've not had any issues with the longevity of this. I always wear eyeshadow primer. Even underneath this look that I'm wearing today, I'm wearing just my normal Urban Decay Primer Potion. I did cheat and put a different eyeshadow brow bone and tear duct shade, but I've given you guys the reason for that, and I've shown that off camera. I've not shown it in the video because I just wanted to keep to the actual eyeshadows that I do have. I'm overall really happy with this. I love the quality of the eyeshadows as well. Now with the shimmery kind of shades, there does appear to be a slightly different formula. For some of them, you can see these ones here called True Bronze, Silk, Alloy and True Copper are very vibrant, and they've almost got like a chunky kind of texture. Maybe these are the ones that are described as the dazzling chroma crystals, and then the other ones are the luminous mineral pearls. I'm just guessing because of the way that they perform, the way that they appear in the palette, and the way that they appear on the eyes as well. These chroma crystals, that I'll call them, are definitely a lot more vibrant, a lot more shimmery, and I also have to say that I find that they apply so much more better with the finger because they've got that kind of texture which is quite soft and buttery. What happens is that the brush fibers do not pick it up as well as they should, and that's why I prefer to use my finger for these. Whereas the other ones you can apply with a brush, but that's just to bear in mind that if you do use your finger, you will get maximum color payoff, completely intense pigmentation. If you want something a little bit more soft, not as intense, then by all means go in and use a brush. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to swatch all of these for you, just so that you guys can see what they look like against my medium skin tone. I'm going to swatch them on the inside of my arm because that is the lightest part of my body at the moment. I'm quite tanned. My arms are a different color to my face. My neck is a different, it's summer in it, that happens. So to show you guys what it looks like on my proper skin tone, I'm going to show you on the inside of my arm. This first one here is called True Copper. And as the name suggests, this is a beautiful, warm, coppery, shimmery shade. Absolutely stunning. Very pigmented, very creamy and easy to apply. This next shade here is called Sundown. And this one is a matte, warm, medium brown shade. I did swatch it twice purely because I'm obviously going over my tattoo, and I wanted you guys to be able to see it clearly. It's easy to blend, it's buttery soft, it's like the perfect everyday brown. This shade here is called Sundown. This one is another matte shade, and this is described as a medium light yellow brown, but I would personally say it runs a little bit more pale orange against my skin tone. This shade here is called Deep Dive. This one is very pigmented. It is described as a deep brown eggplant shade. I would definitely say this is one of the luminous mineral pearls texture, because this one is definitely not matte, but it's definitely not as shiny as, for example, this one here, which is a more crystal one. But you can see here that the quality is excellent. That was literally just one soft swipe. This one on the end is called Rhodium. This texture is similar to the one before. It's got that whole luminous mineral pearl finish, and this is described as a medium warm purple with silver reflex, which is exactly what it is. A beautiful color, again very pigmented. That is one swipe and it looks absolutely stunning. This shade here is called Magma. This is another matte shade, and I would say this is like a medium dark reddish brown color. Gorgeous, easy to blend, very pigmented. This one here is called High Degree. This one is a beautiful, very shimmery red coppery shade. Very pigmented, very opaque. This shade in the middle is called Alloy. This is a beautiful golden bronze shade with golden reflects in it. Again, this is one of the ones which has got the chroma crystals in it. Very pigmented, very high shine and opaque. This shade here is called Ridge. This is another matte shade. It's a warm toned mustard colour. Absolutely love this. This is perfect for those days where you just want something quite soft in the crease. This is the shade that I'm using on my lid right now, called True Bronze. This is of course a classic golden bronze shade, and it has the same chroma crystals finish. Absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite colors. This shade here is called Gloaming. I don't know what gloaming is. I've never come across that word. It's weird. This is a very unique shade. It's like a mixture between a gold and like a peachy sort of color. It's absolutely stunning and so pigmented and sparkly. This shade here is called Palladium. This is another very unique shade. It's described as a pinkish taupe, which is exactly what it is. It's not often you come across pinky taupe shades. Absolutely perfect for everyday kind of looks. This shade here is called Bliss. This is again a very unique color. It's like a reddish pink with golden green reflects in it. So again, it just depends on how the light hits it as to how it shows up on your eyes. This shade here is called Silk. This one is another one of those intense crystal kind of shades. You can tell by the way that it shines in comparison to its neighbours. This one is a beautiful rich champagne colour. Absolutely love this. I was wearing this on my lid yesterday. It looks stunning. And last but not least, we have this one here called Beach. And this one is just a lovely matte nude kind of colour. It's just a warm nude shade. Absolutely beautiful. Beautifully pigmented and opaque, as you can see. So this is all 15 shades all together. As you can see, they work beautifully. You can see how they go from dark to light. I will explain that to you in a minute. Let me just go wash my arms, but this is just how they all look like against my medium skin tone. Okay, so that's it for the swatches. Now what else can I say about this palette? I'm just trying to think, other than the fact that I absolutely love it. The way that they have also placed the eyeshadows in the palette is no accident, no coincidence. They have purposely paired them in areas of 4s, so that it doesn't get too overly complicated when you are trying to put together looks. You know how it can be. Sometimes it can be very intimidating when you open up a palette where there is like 15, 20 eyeshadows and you're like, okay, what do I do? How do they work together? What matches with what? So what I've noticed with this is they have purposely put them in 4s, in 4s, in 4s, just to give you a little bit of a helping hand to decide how to put together your look. Obviously, if those kind of things don't faze you, it's not a problem. Like with me, I'm wearing half the palette on my eyes. I'm not really bothered about what goes with what and how. I'm quite good with colours like that anyway. But that's just to let you guys know, especially if you're quite new to makeup and something like this can be a little bit scary, just to say that they have thought about that. And you can easily create as many different types of beautiful looks as you want. I personally think that this is definitely a great investment if you are on the market for something a little bit more luxury, a little bit more pricey. This is definitely the kind of palette that so many people generally tend to go for anyway. Your typical bronzy, goldy, golden kind of looks, because it's just easier. And also the way that our skin tones are created is that these kind of shades definitely go the best with medium and deep skin tones anyway. They just bring out the more golden tones in our natural skin tones, accentuate them, emphasize them and flatter them beautifully. So that's it for my review of the brand new Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. I didn't get the face palette because there's creams in there, and I remember mentioning to you guys when I did the Valentine's one, I don't really use cream kind of products. I didn't really see it would be a waste of money personally. So anyway, so that's it for my review. Hope you guys are wonderful and great, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.